Your body doesn't need more synthetic fixes. It needs real plant medicine. Wild herbs are packed with minerals, adaptogens, and healing compounds your body actually recognizes and can use, supporting energy, immunity, and balance from the inside out. At Tamarack Garden, our supplements bring these overlooked weeds and wildflowers back into your daily routine. Don't just manage symptoms, support your body and eat your weeds. Head to tamarackgarden.com for $10 off your order of $50 or more when you use code BADLANDS at checkout.
June 25th through the 28th, Badlands Media is headed back to Deadwood, South Dakota for the 12th stop on the Great American Restoration Tour. Whether you're attending in person or virtually, a GART veteran or a virgin, there's something for everyone. Merch packages are also now available for both in-person or virtual ticket holders. Get your GART 12 tickets today at badlandsmedia.tv/events.
A long, long time ago, a raider went into a dangerous cave. Because he was on an adventure. Or like he smelled like an adventure. But the cave was protected by spiders and lizards. No, it was snakes. Snakes? Why did it have to be snakes? Whatever it was, the raider wasn't scared of it because it was Ghost, the lotion raider. Then he found the golden deodorant. That's not deodorant, that's the tallow bar. It was soft disclosure. Ghost had exactly 1 second to switch it, or the whole cave explodes! And then the boulders started chasing him. Run, Ghost, run! Oh no, he dropped the soft disclosure. I got it. I understand its power now. That lotion is an important artifact and it belongs in every household. Visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code LotionWaiter for 15% off.
Tired of having heavy, dusty, smelly cat litter that tracks everywhere and fills your house with odor? Discover Love's Litter, the long-lasting wood-based litter made from pure kindling dried wood with no chemicals or additives. It's eco-friendly, repurposing wood that would otherwise go to the landfill. Here's why it's so great. It completely neutralizes cat urine odor. You just scoop out the solids daily, flush them, and the urine simply evaporates with zero smell. A single 45-pound box can last one cat 6 to 9 months when used about an inch deep. It turns into fine sawdust over time, so there's minimal tracking and less mess to clean. Do you have birds? Love Litter is aggressively absorbent. It dries droppings instantly to prevent mold and dissolves harmlessly if your bird nibbles on them. Plus, it works wonderfully for ferrets, rabbits, reptiles, and more. Ready to kick the clay habit for good? Head to badlandsmedia.tv/litter for free shipping and try Love's Litters. Your pets and your nose will thank.
The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shipwreck Show. My name is Shipwreck, and I'll be your hostess with the mostest. And 3 6s coming Saturday. This is a storm. I'm getting updates on my phone all day. Apparently this weekend, tomorrow and this weekend get kind of rough around here. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Tornado watches and so on and so forth. It's fine. We have insurance. Pretty good insurance too. They resided our whole house and our roof. The last hailstorm. We could do it again. Change the color. What's up? We love you. I love being here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I want to talk about the tick, but first, can I touch on? Actually, I have a whole lot of things to talk about. I want to touch on this cat litter shit real quick. So There's Badlands got them as a sponsor, and that's cool. That's how Badlands makes its money, right? But occasionally sponsors will send the hosts like stuff. And I've gotten, we talk about the collagen peptide we got, and I love that. If you haven't gotten to some collagen peptide, you should. It's good for you. Don't inject it, drink it. By the way, I just don't inject it. It's not the thing to do. But I also got, apparently I'm the only one that has a cat. Maybe not. I think I am, because they had reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, do you have a cat?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, she's like old as shit, but yeah, she's alive." And they sent me some of this litter, and it was like these huge garbage bags of this like little brown pellet litter. And I didn't use it for a while because my cat had been on generic scoop away litter since I've had her. And so I was kind of nervous. And then when we started running out of the scoop away litter stuff, I started like integrating the new litter so that, because I didn't want her peeing all over either, because it's changed, because it's different, because cats are sensitive like that. And then I eventually just changed all the way over, and I fucking love it. And she loves it, and her hair isn't falling out anymore. I'm like, damn, we've been using it solid for 2 months now, and I love it. It's light. It smells like wood shavings. It doesn't smell like cat pee. She doesn't pee outside the box. It's super light, so changing it and scooping it is not a big deal. And so I hit them up last week, and I'm like, hey, do you get can we do like a collab? Because I'm gonna need more, and I would like to do a collab. Hi, I love you. Welcome home. There's burgers on the counter. Okay, you'll have to heat them up though. They're cold. My husband's home. But it's just great. So if you're looking to switch litter, or like if your cat's got sensitive allergies, it might be their litter. Because I think maybe hers was. Now I feel like shit. It's 15 years. She just had real crappy hair. And it was always really coarse, and we tried switching her food and all that stuff. Nothing really seemed to help. The litter seems to help. So if you need some new litter, it's not expensive. You get a bunch of it. So it's like you're buying it in bulk. These 2 garbage bags have lasted us 3 months. I think it was like $60 for 3 or 4 months worth. So it's not terribly expensive considering how expensive clay cat litter is. If you want some, go get yourself some. Hello. I know it is. I love that cat. She's a great cat. I got some videos I want to talk about tonight. I got some videos I want to play. First, I want to touch on the Iowa governor's race. I've kind of been, like I said, I kind of stepped out of this for a while. I've been pretty frustrated. Call it black pill, call it whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But I have. But I was very interested to see Zach Lane win. Is it Lawn? I don't even know who he was. I caught him on Tucker. He was on the Sean Ryan show too. My husband brought that up earlier. Listening with the Sean Ryan show. His primary focus was the astronomical cancer rates that are going on in our state right now. We're like number 2 now in cancer rates. 1 out of every 5 women I'm friends with on Facebook has cancer, or has a kid that has cancer, or has a close relative that has cancer. 1 out of 5. Oh, John has a cat. Did he get litter? Somebody go ask him. Did he use it? Go ask him next time. Tell him Shipwreck needs to know. She's very interested. Now I lost my train of thought. This is what happens during these lives. Oh, anyway, so he was really focused on the cancer rates, which I loved because nobody else stopped. Randy Feenster got all kinds of donations from pesticide companies, and I just figured Feenster was going to win. I really did. He's been campaigning for 6 months. He is all over my town. He is all over my county. He's on my radio. He's on my streaming service, advertisements. He's everywhere. He's practically like a cousin now because he's so much everywhere. And so when I woke up this morning and my husband's like, "Man, did you fucking see this?" I'm like, I remember the guy from Tucker. I'm like, the guy from Tucker won? Barely, but he won. And so again, I don't know that I believe in the system and in the voting, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch this come the big election, because if he holds true and he continues not taking money from AIPAC and foreign lobbies. In China was a big one with Iowa, with Terry Branstad and then Governor Reynolds, in case you didn't know. So Terry Branstad was our governor before Reynolds, but Terry Branstad left and he became the ambassador for the United States of America to China, in China. Okay. And then Governor Reynolds came in, and there was a lot of hubbub about her taking kickbacks from China in return for farmland and access to farm. So if he stays true to that, the cancer stuff, the pesticide stuff, like I know Turning Point USA, I had made a video about Turning Point USA. They had endorsed him, and I wasn't so sure about that. And in the video, I was like, man, he's going to get murdered too. And it was just a fucking joke. Gladys on Instagram, like, lost her shit in my comments. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not reading all that. I'm sorry that happened, or I'm glad to hear it. One or the other. I don't know, but she was mad. She's like, how dare you? I'm like, bitch, it's months. We all know. We all know, and nothing's going to be done about it, but we all fucking know. We know. Maybe you can't prove it beyond a shadow of doubt. It may not hold up in court, but the court of the internet has spoken. And them people ain't innocent in what happened with Charlie. They just ain't. They just ain't. Neither is his widow. Shut up. Just saw an interview, 84% of patients over 500 had good results, complete submission from cancer by using ivermectin. I've read that too. I might, like, if I ever get cancer, I'll try ivermectin. If it doesn't work, I'll just die. We've had this discussion in my family with my husband. I've watched so many people go through chemo, and it just absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not for me. Not for me. You're making chocolate coffee cheesecake? Ooh, yum. I am making cherry crisp next week and lemon blueberry bread. So if you're on the cook talk with me, some of you are, some of you aren't, that's fine. I don't care. We're having some fun with it, but that's what we're making next week. And then I've got like a summer series with some of my favorite meals. So they freeze great and can be melted. Oh, shut. I should look into that. I should look into Governor. Who said it about Grassley? Oh, see, no, I don't know what the fuck. This is another reason why I'm blackpilled. And it's a reason I don't talk about very often, and I should, but I don't, because every time I bring it up, I get swarmed by the Q people. Like fucking swarmed. Because there's a Q drop that says trust Grassley, right? Just, I get fucking annihilated. But I met Chuck Grassley in the 2020 campaign. He came to my county, and I met him, and he did a town hall. And this motherfucker has no idea what's going on. He has no idea what day it is. He is old. He does not know. Maybe he's got a handler. I don't know. He does not know what the fuck is going on. I asked him about voting and how we were going to secure Iowa's votes. And this motherfucker looked me dead in my fucking face. And he's like, well, that's why we need to get the Democrats out. What the fuck are you even talking about? You want me to go vote harder in a system that you've spent the last year telling me is broken and that votes don't count and that cheats are happening? And you're not going to do anything about it. But now I need to vote out the Democrats. What the fuck is even that? And then, like, when he looked at me, he didn't look at me. He looked through me. So either he's fucking not all there, or he's a lizard person. I said what I said. I said what I said. Somebody bring up Hunter Biden in the comments. Did I see that? I do not watch Alex Jones. No. I caught the gay frogs thing. I use it for a soundbite occasionally, but no. No. Yeah, it was. I don't know if... Maybe it was, but I do think that it was. I think that it was a prominent figure when it came to human and child trafficking. Because if you go back and you really think about when we figured out Hollywood was a fucking cesspool and everybody was molested, like that was all kind of wrapped into that Q movement. It wasn't necessarily about the drops, but it was wrapped into that movement, and it put this huge spotlight on human and child trafficking. Something is talking. Oh, I think he's trying to fix the doorbell. We had to get new internet today. Lizard probably. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And that was 2020. Okay, so we're talking 6 years ago. Anyway. That's where I'm at with that. And that's why it's kind of like I get frustrated. I got frustrated. I am frustrated with this whole thing. And I get even more frustrated when people get in my comments and start going fucking nuts. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even helping nobody here. This ain't worth my fucking time to sit here and do this. But that's it. That's what we got. Fucking Grassley. Fucking huge piece of shit. But let's talk about the tick thing. Have you guys heard about this? I'll play the video and then we'll talk about it.
So you've most likely heard that the Lone Star tick has been spreading exponentially through the eastern United States. And that's kind of scary because when the Lone Star tick bites humans, it causes an immune response. and that response could lead to a long-term meat allergy known as alpha-gal syndrome. And with alpha-gal syndrome, any type of meat product could cause severe and sometimes even life-threatening allergic reactions. And the CDC now estimates that close to 500,000 people in the United States already have alpha-gal syndrome. Now, where this takes a weird turn is when we look into the history of disease spread by ticks in the United States. So there's a doctor by the name of Robert Malone, who's a biotechnological researcher. And what he found is that during the Cold War, the CIA had a now declassified project conducted on none other than Plum Island, Virginia, studying ticks because they wanted to infect them and dump them on different Soviet countries. And to test the effectiveness, they first dropped thousands of them on the citizens of Virginia in 1960. And while they may not have been disease-ridden in the CIA official record, this report by Dr. Malone suggests that some of the ticks were actually carrying and possibly accelerated the outbreak of Lyme disease, which Lyme disease wasn't even identified until 1976. And this is exactly why you're hearing about the Lone Star tick so much recently. Obviously, nobody has trust anymore in our institutes because who would drop a biologically engineered disease onto their own people? And I'll play this clip from the 2016 World Economic Forum and let you come to your own conclusions.
Possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Well, that's great. Listen, this shit's all over TikTok. It must not have made it to X yet. I don't know. We've been here 17 years and we've only seen. It's very possible. Now here's the thing. It's a continuation of Lyme disease. Did you know that multiple sclerosis often gets or Lyme disease often gets misdiagnosed as multiple sclerosis? But they don't look at that. They immediately jump to MS because then you got to go on like beta-ferons, and those cost a lot of money, and they make a lot of money on them. Anyway, listen, I am fairly confident I have picked off my fair share of ticks with the little white dot on the back for fucking years as a kid. For years. I'm not saying that they weren't the bioengineered ones. Maybe they're not. Okay. I don't think we've had any. Our town actually sprays. I don't know if it's probably bad, but I know they spray for mosquitoes, which is also bad. But I distinctly remember picking those exact ticks off of me as a kid. My dad would have us do tick checks when we came in, where we'd sit on a chair and he would go through our hair quick and pull, because we lived on a fucking farm. Like there was ticks everywhere, fucking ticks everywhere. So and then I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis like way back in the early 20s or 2010s. But I've never, so it could have been Lyme disease. Who knows? As far as being allergic to meat, I mean, what the fuck are we like? Why do they not want us to eat meat so bad? Because meat's really good for you. It's high protein. I ate beef earlier. I ate beef tonight. I just had a hamburger. It was 420 calories. They don't call it practicing medicine for nothing. Yeah, it happens a lot. I brought it up to my neurologist. I'm like, is there any way we can test for, like, could it be this instead of that? Have we thought about that? Have we looked into that? Because the treatments for MS are fucking awful. I'm like, this fucking blows. Like, it's worse than having the disease. So I just stopped doing them like 6 years ago. I'm like, we're going to roll the dice. I don't want to play anymore. My hair was falling out. I was fucking crabby. My stomach was messed up. My skin was messed up. So I just quit. But we've had these a long time. And I've heard that they're releasing, I heard Google's releasing mosquitoes. Did you guys hear that? I don't have it, but we can talk about that. The mosquito thing. So Google got together and they're like, we're going to release all of these bioengineered mosquitoes. I think it's in Florida or California. It's one or the other. And those bioengineered mosquitoes are like sterile. And so they can't like reproduce. And so this is how they're going to bring down the population of the mosquitoes, which makes sense. It makes sense. They've done it before. It has worked. My only question is, how is that Google? Why is Google in that at all, ever? Like, why is Google in charge of that? Google is a search engine. It's very strange. It's very strange. She didn't want to hear it. Either she knew, she was super nice, but she didn't want to hear it. I'm like, well, I'm a dip. Then I'm still paying on a bill that they sent me for $2,200 for an MRI. That's just, I'm like, this shit's too expensive. I'm not going to do this anymore. Goodbye. I don't know. Google is going to inject you with nanobots. I carry a nanobot around with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't need to do that. That's why everyone's like so concerned about their surveillance state in these AI data centers. I do not want to live next to an AI data center because of the noise and just like the runoff and the like it would get on my fucking nerves. I'd probably try to move, right? But the amount of people on social media that in one post will complain about the AI data centers and then in the next post use ChatGPT because reportedly that's what it's for. Okay. So that we can use artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Grok, things like that. And that's the general consensus. I know there's other things, but that's the general consensus. That's what people on Facebook understand. Most people on Facebook understand. But then they're going to use ChatGPT to create their kids' birthday party flyers, to create school flyers, to create their AI photo picture, to put as their profile picture, pictures of their families, pictures of their friends. Like, you're either in it or you're not in it. Like, if you really don't want your AI data center, stop using artificial intelligence. But you're not going to do that. And so I'm not going to feel bad for you. I'm just not. It's stupid. And as far as like the AI data centers being mass surveillance, I don't think that's it either. Because like I said, they could mass surveil you on your phone. They can mass surveil you using drones. They are mass surveilling people using drones. They're going to mass surveil you in your car starting next year. Brand new cars are going to have cameras in them that are attached to the government websites. They don't need giant fucking enormous data centers in order to come up with new ways to fucking track you. They can already do it. They've already done it. I don't know what they're all about. Someone said they are to supply fresh water for the people that live underground. I could go with that. Kennedy's resigning? Is that legit? I was pretty bummed about the whole fucking thing. The whole thing. It's just super depressing. But we'll see. Maybe our new Iowa governor will turn it around. Maybe we'll like do what Texas tried to do and break away from everybody. We're right in the middle. It'd be pretty hard. We'll see. They've already had data centers all around us since 1980s. Yeah. I don't know. So I tend to think that it's not as nefarious as people think it is. I do believe that there are going to be repercussions, just like there's repercussions for the 5G towers, just like there was repercussions for the windmill farms that they got going on. But I think it has something to do with energy and bringing in nuclear energy. Because last week I told you about a new plant that was being built out but out by me. And it was a nuclear energy facility, and they were building it in order to make all these AI data centers work. So that'll be something. I got $2 from Squall Strike. Why do data centers need incinerators? Huh? You fucking got me. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, he's not. Okay, good. You got me for a minute there. Anyway, so with the ticks, I don't know. I think there's a lot of fear porn around it. I think there probably is genetically modified ticks. But like I said, I've been bitten by those same ticks for 40 years now. and I still eat meat like a champ, right? I might have Lyme disease, but I still eat meat. So what's the next one I got? Everything needs an app. This one might piss you off. Hang tight. Just hold on.
I bought a lamp off Amazon a year ago. That's the lamp. When I open the app to control the lamp, it plays a video ad with sound that's not skippable for like 5 seconds. The app I use to pick up packages in my apartment, like you go, it's a locker, you open the app, that now has ads when you open the app. I don't know what the general vibe was, like how mad people were, but I'm mad at the ads, and the ads make me mad. I'm mad at the ads.
I bought Sony headphones without realizing one of their features is locked behind a subscription. I feel like I got scammed. And we got another comment from you guys right here. Companies need to stop creating solutions for problems that don't exist. But then how would they be able to make even more money off of you?
Oh my God, this made me so mad because he's fucking right. He's right. I go to put gas in my car the other day at my good old little gas station. And in the fucking gas pump, there's a new screen. And in that screen, it plays ads, right? I hear ads on the radio. I can't even like doom scroll in peace anymore on social media because every second video is an ad. And then it's a TikTok shop video. And then it's another ad. And then it's a swipe right ad. Then it's an ad that doesn't work. And then finally I can get another video. I can't do anything. We have something called the Tourney app on our phones. And this is how we track our kids' basketball tournaments and where we need to be and what time. Ads. I can pay 99 cents a month to get rid of them. But there's a pop-up ad. You can't skip it. I got to sit there for 45 seconds and wait for Casey's stupid, corny, fucking gay-ass ad to finish playing so I can find out what time tip-off is. Everything. And everything needs a subscription. We are constantly rotating subscriptions out every month based on what we want to watch. Everything. It's so fucking dumb. Like we fumbled. We fumbled with cable. We fucking fumbled with the channel 2 scrolling until you see the show that you want to watch and what we fumbled the ball. Because we were like, fuck cable. Get Netflix. Fuck that. Want to watch a football game? What football game? Well, you got to have one of these 17 streaming services because they're on a different fucking one every single week. Or you pay for the NFL package, which is like $400. I'm not doing that. Football don't mean that much to me. I'll catch highlights. I don't even do that because I don't even care that much. It's the nostalgia that hearing football from my kitchen brings me. I don't fucking know anything about it. Like it's everything. It's everything requires an app, and every fucking app has ads. Pinterest is terrible. I remember when Pinterest started because we're about the same time as Facebook. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was all like blogs. It was all people's like recipes. I can't even read a recipe on Pinterest now without having to scroll through 7 fucking pop-up ads. And a lot of times then they get stuck and then I have to close out and I got to try and go back in and I'm balls deep in like flour. Like I'm just trying to make some cookies, Becky. I know you're out here trying to make your $1.47 on this view. Okay, but I just want to make some cookies. Could you dial it back on the pop-up ads? And Becky in the comments, she's like, oh, just trying to make a buck. Bitch. Like, I get it. I pay for premium on X, and there was a time when I first started that removed your ads. That doesn't anymore. Now you got to pay for premium plus. I'm like, we don't pay me enough to pay that much for a blue check mark and no ads. Like, as soon as my X checks don't cover my fucking check mark, we're done with the check mark. And we're getting there. And that's okay. Because who fucking cares? $10 from NC Chaney. Trump. What did I say? I can't see. I got to get my eyes checked again. Trump bought the TAE and a neurotic nuclear and has zero waste or produces zero heat. Is that what it is? I'm starting to wonder if that's what these data centers are about. Is nuclear plants. I guess we'll find out. But that was like a Nikola Tesla thing. That was like free energy. You're talking like, because you're getting into cheap and free energy at that point when you start talking about nuclear plants. We'll see. Black Mirror, everything. It's so awful. And I hate everything about it. I go to pay bills on the apps on my phones, Wells Fargo, fucking anything. Anything I need to pay a bill, there's ads at the bottom. There's ads scrolling through the screens, right? There's apps that I pay for. I pay for Canva so I can edit my videos when TikTok wants to be fucktacular, right? Ads. And I'm like, I pay for like $16 a month for this. Why am I seeing these ads? And they're like, well, you have to pay for the I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fucking shut it down and start drawing everybody pictures on a notepad. And there's your videos. I'm going to go back to the flip books. Remember those? Those were awesome. They were awesome. Yeah, it's so you're not. You're just not. I know. I keep dodging and I feel bad about that. I really do feel bad about that. But and I feel like I explain this every single time. I am just not. That's just not my thing. It's just not. At least it isn't right now, especially now. Especially now. I did sign up for some OnlyLands episodes though. They're in my calendar. So I am coming. So that's a start. Because I get really fucking like just awkward. I'm not that hilarious in person. I'm awkward. My husband is my buffer. He's that guy. He's like, he friends with everybody. Nope. Kind of a bitch. Can be. Make changes, make payment. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I'm so over it. I'm like, this fucking sucks. This sucks. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. All right, what do I got? Taxes for the rich? Oh, here. This is a rich lady talking about taxes. Now, just wait. Just listen to what she's got to say.
That person's paying $5,000 in taxes and I'm paying $100,000 in taxes, but I'm not using public roads any more than anybody else. Like, I don't use the public roads more than them. In fact, I might use them less. I don't use any more of the military than that person does. Certainly don't use government assistance, food stamps or anything like that. So I was like, well, if I'm one person, why should I pay more taxes than that one person? And I think that's a valid question. And some would say because from each based on, that's communist thought, from each based on capability and to each based on need, right? But I also, even though I was a tax accountant, I had no idea that there were literally billionaires who were paying no tax and that there were corporations that had billions in like I understand how you could have a huge profit and wipe out your whole profit using depreciation because you just reinvest in assets. And so you're creating $10 million in profit or 10 billion in profit. But if you turn around and spend that 10 billion buying a bunch more infrastructure under the current tax systems, it wasn't always this way. You could basically eliminate all of your tax liability. So now you're making $10 billion a year and you're paying zero tax. There's a bunch of companies that do that literally pay zero taxes and individuals. So at that point,
she brings up a good point. Like, I did a video just right before I came live talking about the IRS taxes and how it's all just a fucking game. And I figured out it's all just a game by doing this content shit, right? Because I don't have like a 1099 or whatever. So I don't have taxes taken out of my checks every fucking month or every pay cycle. And so I just get what I get, right? And then at the end of the year, we have to add it all up. And then that's then it's like $8,000 or $10,000 I owe in taxes, right? But then I have to go through and I have to save all my expenses and then I can write all that stuff off. And that way I don't have to pay that $8,000 or $10,000. Now, the problem with that is I still have to spend that money on something else. I have to give a certain percentage away to charity. I have to order donations. I have to spend a certain percentage on like stuff. A large percentage goes to apps, which is insane, by the way. But so I usually come in right around 500 or 600 because of all the stuff that I have to spend to keep doing this. But billionaires put everything into a trust and LLC to avoid paying taxes. But like, why couldn't we do that? Right? I'm just saying. Why couldn't we do that? I feel like we need to eliminate income tax. And I think we should just eliminate it and fucking, I'd be fine paying state tax. Lots of billionaires. There's so many loopholes. It's ridiculous. If you do your taxes every quarter instead of at the end of every year, it doesn't look like you make as much. You don't have to pay in as much. And then you get like other discounts by doing them. There's so many loopholes. She's not wrong. There are a lot of loopholes I personally cannot take advantage of, but it's wild. But why should they have to pay more simply because they make more? They drive on. She's right. They drive on the same roads. Like, but I don't know. It's a fucking lot of money. I am too. It needs to go. It needs to just die. Like, why can't I did a video before I came live, and yeah, they will get a tax accountant though. Don't go to H&R Block. Don't go to any of that. Go find you a person that does this for a living. Like, this is what they do. Like a person, your guy to call that you can call. and they will set it all up for you. He helps me a shit ton. Yeah, why do we have to pay property tax on a home we paid off? What the fuck are we paying for? And what's even worse is like we pay property taxes and like our alley is a mess and it's our responsibility. Like I have to pay to get it fixed. That's so stupid. Inheriting, yeah, they just tax you on everything. It needs to change, but there's no signals or signs that says it's going to. This lady, oh, sorry. So going back to my story. So this lady, she quit her job at the IRS this week because the IRS building was infested with rats and there was like rats falling out of the ceiling and rats crawling across their feet. And so she's like, fuck this, I quit. But then it got me thinking, like, what if everybody just quit? Like, why aren't there's this huge push to not pay taxes, right? But it is a lot, and it is. You're taking a chance. That whole, like, it's in the Constitution. No, I don't have to pay. I'm a sovereign. That ain't gonna hold up in court. It ain't. And you ain't got the money to fight it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, if you got an H&R Block and you know the person, great. Like, we got a guy. My husband went to school with him. I don't know. But, like, what? Instead of, like, pressuring people to just stop filing, stop paying, why aren't we pressuring people to quit their jobs at the IRS? And then someone's like, well, then AI could take it over and just, well, then AI can fucking figure out how much I owe then and just send me a bill. And then I'll send back my deductions and then then we'll just pay. Instead of having to go through this whole thing, our taxes haven't even been accepted. I refuse to fucking pay it until our taxes have been accepted by the IRS. Because I'm not going to fucking overpay, right? You're going to send me a letter. You can send me your first warning, whatever. Send me a fucking letter that tells me how much I need to pay. I'm not just going to give you money willy-nilly until I know for absolute sure. But why don't they all just quit? Why are we not like more mad at the tax collector? Why would anybody want to go work for the IRS? Why is there not more pressure on that? Just a thought. 3 million unemployed, 4 of them would be AI. I guess you're right now. They would. They'd probably just get fucking artificial intelligence to do it. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. So speaking of AI, I'm going to talk about Peter Thiel. I caught this video. This was news last week, but I did save the video because I was kind of curious. So Peter Thiel left country. Of course he did. He moved to like, I don't know, somewhere else. Oh, here's a video. I'm going to do this though.
Peter Thiel is not moving to Argentina because he's afraid of where America's headed. That's the story you're being sold, and it's completely backwards. He has run this play before. A few years ago, he funded an entire private city in Honduras and then sued the entire city, which we'll get to that in a second. But come on, this is not new for him. Think about it. His protege is the vice president. His company basically runs on government contracts. The man is winning. You don't flee a country when you're holding all the cards. Oh, and don't you dare start with me on this is about the California taxes. He doesn't want to pay California taxes. Grow up. If you don't want to pay California taxes, you move to Florida. You move to Texas. You don't uproot your entire family and chase down a second passport because you want to, flee a state income tax? So in my opinion, the question is, what does Argentina offer him that America doesn't? Or at least not yet. Here's the thing. President Milei is tearing apart his own country on purpose. He's gutting agencies. He's regulations. He is shrinking the state every single day. And Thiel has said for years that he thinks a democracy is inefficient, that the country should be run like a company by tech elites. But he can't do that here, okay? Our institutions push back. At least they do for now. But down there, the president is already clearing ground for him. Okay, so back to Honduras. Peter Thiel in 2017 funded an entire private city called Prospera. It has its own laws, its own court system, its own tax system. It's basically a country inside a country. And when Honduras looked at Prospera and said, I don't know if that's healthy for our country, and tried to shut it down, Peter Thiel hit him with a $10 billion lawsuit. And this tells you exactly how much he cares about this country. America was never his home. It was his platform. Men like him don't have a home. They collect them. They collect mansions, passports, jurisdictions, all so that not one single nation's rules have to apply to them. Meanwhile, the rest of us are governed by our country. So no, he's not running from America. He is no man of America. He's building the thing that comes after democracy, and he's building it in the place where it's already falling apart. And he's making himself a citizen so that no one can touch him. That's the real story. That's the story that they're not going to tell you.
That's fucking nuts. She could be right. I guess I don't know. Yeah, I like her. I follow her on the TikTok. TikTok. Yeah, I mean, well, didn't we like fucking put him on the board or something and give him a bunch of money and now he's left? I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Are they going to control all? You mean the data centers? This ain't a republic. It's just a fucking shit show at this point. It ain't a democracy and it ain't a republic. It's a fucking shit show. It's a goddamn shit show. That's where we are. It's going to be, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I could speculate. I think the data centers is a bigger conversation that I think it has something more to do with a lot of what's going on than people think it does. Can somebody help me understand too? This is kind of off topic, but I'm curious because I just got caught up on it. Can somebody help me understand why Hunter Biden is all of a sudden like popular amongst the conservative movement? Because he's hilarious, I guess. Listen, and then they're talking about he might run in 2028. Hunter Biden just showed up on X and just started fucking dropping shit. Just boom, boom, boom. Right? And everyone's like, wow, he's really turned a new leaf. I had a theory. I don't know if the theory would still hold now. It might. I had this theory about Hunter Biden and his sister, and I've kind of talked about this before. So the theory went that, you remember everything that happened under Joe Biden? And if you look into Hunter Biden, if you take you back to the Hunter Biden laptop, let's go back to that. Okay. If you look into Hunter Biden's laptop and you look into the timeline, and then you look into the timeline that Hunter Biden had talked about in his book with the laptop and his drug addiction and his old wife, his new wife, who was his brother's old wife or something. None of the timelines add up. And I am a firm believer that Hunter Biden outed his dad. Like, is the one that was responsible for the downfall pretty much of Joe Biden. I think he gave the laptop up to save himself. He got his pardon, didn't he? Didn't he? There, somebody said it. Yep. He got his pardon, didn't he? Because he gave the laptop up. The diary, his daughter got a pardon, or his sister got a pardon too. I think they gave it up. I think they turned it over to save their own asses. And I think, unfortunately, we're not done with the Bidens yet. Oh, the whole thing. I did a whole show on it on YouTube like years ago. The whole thing doesn't add up. And I think Hunter Biden, I think he was started on drugs and then stayed on drugs. I think they kept him on drugs so they could put all these shady business dealings under his name, so that if things went to shit, it was Hunter that took the fall. I think that Hunter Biden and Beau Biden were both supposed to die in that car accident with Joe Biden's first wife, allegedly. And they didn't. And I think that Joe Biden and his new wife, then not a Dr. Jill, resented them for living. And I think that Hunter Biden hated Joe and Jill because he knew that they had a hand in killing his mom. Because if you read the story about his mom, it's fucking weird too. She was reportedly, and Joe Biden had said this many times, killed by a drunk driver, but she wasn't. The driver had not been drinking. She pulled out in front of him. The driver of the truck was not drinking. He was so not drinking that when the news picked up that he was drunk, and when Joe Biden tried to spin it that he had been drunk, the truck driver sued the Bidens and a bunch of news outlets and won. Because he passed the breathalyzer, passed everything. I think he left the laptop. I think all of that shit happened on purpose to get himself a pardon. But I think that the drugs were given because Hunter Biden used to just drink occasionally. Like in his memoir, okay, he used to just drink occasionally. He kind of dabbled in a little weed. He didn't start doing crack until he got with Beau Biden's widow. And I think Beau Biden's widow was Hunter Biden's handler. Because she had an addiction problem as well. She is the whole gun thing. That was her. I think he did it. I think he did it on purpose. And I think you're going to see him maybe even try to run, which would be super interesting. I do too. 100%. So it was the only pardon Biden physically signed before Joe was yeah. I think that not a Dr. Jill. I think him and Ashley both set it all up. Too. And I think the girl that he's married to now is also a handler. Because supposedly they had a whirlwind 48-hour relationship and then they just got married when he was supposed to be in rehab at the same time. Like in his book, he went to rehab when the laptop was dropped off. When he gave an interview on CBS or something, one of those things, he was in somewhere else with this new girl that he had met, who is his current wife. He's not. None of it fucking added up. When the laptop shit happened, none of that added up. The guy, the computer store repair guy, his dad was like either a retired senator or something like that for like Scotland. It was something like that. But he had the in with all the congressmen. So much of an in that when the guy, the laptop repair guy, gave the interview that he gave on like NBC or CBS or whatever it was, he was like, I was getting so many death threats that I went to my dad, and my dad went to Congress to see if there was anything they could do about this, because the CIA and the FBI kept showing up at this guy's house, demanding the laptop, demanding the files, threatening his life. And so his dad, who knew all these congressmen, went to the White House, went to Congress, and pleaded his case to try and help him get out of it. They aren't his drugs. Yeah, they weren't his. That was addressed on X. Somebody had asked, why did you leave your cocaine at the White House? And Hunter Biden said, it wasn't mine. I wasn't stupid enough to leave expensive drugs laying around. Fair enough. Ashley wasn't even in the picture at the time. I was right after. Did you know also that, so those documents that Hunter Biden, the boxes of documents that he had taken during the Obama administration, remember when that whole fiasco happened? And they raided that garage. And then there was the car, like the Mustang that he had or whatever it was. And they were always talking about how these boxes, they were right behind. Did you also know that's the same garage that Hunter Biden in his book talked about sitting in, watching cartoons and smoking crack in on the weekends? It's the same. He did it right. So he sat there toked up in front of all these boxes of classified documents. He knew they were there because that's where he hung out. That's where he did his stuff. How did we even find those documents of Joe Biden's? Who told on him? I'm not going to get into the whole white hat thing, but Hunter Biden plays a bigger part in the downfall of the Biden era, and maybe even possibly the whole Trump thing going on too, than I think we gave him credit for. Yeah, the laptop guy, there's so much to the laptop guy. Weird fucking shit. Like weird shit. I don't know, man. Anyway, so he's back up on the X and he's just winning over conservatives left and right, which seems like a odd turn to take considering everything that's happened. But here we are. It's all fun and games. When on the dark web 4 came out, he had videos of him in a garage. You could see those. Yeah, he knew they were there. That's how they found out they were there. He told them. You want to talk about Ashley Biden for a minute, right? The diary was stolen. No, it fucking wasn't. It was allegedly found by a maid at like a hotel or an Airbnb or something. Found? Were you going to leave that there in the room? Just wide open for anybody to find? No, you're not. Why'd you have it there to begin with? That's shit that you burn. You want to talk about a diary full of how you and your daddy took showers together. That is something that you burn or you leave with your therapist. You don't leave it in some fucking random ass hotel Airbnb room. She gave it to him. She gave it to them to add fuel to the fire that Joe Biden was a pedophile. Legitimate fuel, too, because there's photos. And she did it probably to save her own ass. I think he's blind in one eye. Something like that. But he's Scottish, I think. He had always had the... Anyway, the whole thing was fucked up. And from like the jump, I'm like, Hunter Biden is in on this. He is in on this whole thing. Like, I think he did have a problem, and all of his name is on all that Burisma shit. That's Hunter Biden. That's not Joe Biden, as like your Harry Sissons consistently wanted to point out. It's not Joe, it's his son. You mean to tell me that a big company in Ukraine, or wherever the fuck it was, I think it was Ukraine, big $1 billion company, is like, you know what? That crack addict is a guy that we want sitting on our board. Absolutely not. They put his name on it. It was Joe Biden and Joe Biden's brother. They put his name. They used Hunter's name on all those documents, reaped all the benefits from it. And that way, when it fucking came crashing down, and it did, it was all on Hunter Biden, which is why he needed the pardon, which is why he got it. So you got me all fired up now. I didn't want to talk about this shit anymore, but now I'm back in. Like, you got me all fired up. You know that Joe, or you know that at least Hunter, you know that Hunter hated Joe and Jill. You saw those text messages that he'd send to them. He fucking hated them. And I believe that it's because he believes that they killed his mom. And I believe this because him and his mom had a very close relationship. He named his daughter after his mom. Hunter is his biological mom's maiden name. If I remember right, something like that. Is that right? I think that's right. They were close. And I think he thinks that Joe killed him. And I think they kept him on drugs to keep him from talking. We all know that happens. Look at Kanye fucking West. Look at half of fucking Hollywood. We all know that they get them addicted to substances, Britney Spears, to keep them quiet, to keep them in control, to keep them in line. And I think that's what the Biden family did to Hunter. They sent Bo off to go fight the good fight in the wars, right? And they got Hunter addicted to fucking substances. She was, yes. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Joe Biden was sworn into the Senate in a hospital room with both Hunter and Bo? Man, what a feel-good story for an election campaign, right? Wow. There's pictures of him standing there. Both of his boys are in hospital beds, and he's being sworn into the Senate. Fucking killed her. She was absolutely sacrificed. She did not. So what had happened was it was her, because Hunter Biden had also lost a sister in that accident. So it was her, the baby, who was in the front seat, in the car seat, which was a thing back then, and then the two boys in the back when the semi hit them. It killed the wife and the daughter, but the two boys survived. I think it was supposed to kill all of them so that Joe could start anew with Jill and be sworn into the Senate with this hot young wife. Fucked up. Fucked up. Yeah, he's a fucking creep. I know, thank God. Thank God we're confined to my little bedroom in my 1,500 square foot house. Oh, so I don't even think it's that much. Maybe 12. I'm good. I'm good with not being in a big club. I like the Badlands Club. I like you guys. So I don't know. Like I try to, and I wholeheartedly believe that, right? And so I'm here in 2026, and you're trying to figure out, well, how does that tie in? Because you kind of thought maybe the Trump administration, or Trump, and then, all of that, they were all kind of behind putting the Bidens up for this to expose them for what they were. And obviously now things are very different. And now everybody's just fucking being exposed, including Trump. So it makes you kind of go back to think like, what happened? Like, who is actually, like, is there two other groups that we don't know about? I mean, it gets very confusing. It just gets very confusing. And you go back and you look at now, like the Israel stuff is the hot topic right now, and now we all kind of know that Israel's the one that's been pulling the strings for a long time in regards to just about everything, every piece of legislation, every tax change, everything. Right? They've been lobbying and pulling the strings. They had control of our entire government as of right now, and obviously people are trying to vote their way through that and out of that. It's in some states, in Iowa, it's working, or it has worked. In some states, it's not, which would be like Kentucky. So and I don't even know if voting matters. Like, I don't know if they're cheating. I don't know if it matters. I don't know if it depends on the state. I think what we need at this point in the game is just a convention of states and just kick this federal shit to the fucking curb and work together. That is the only solution I can think of. Like, and that could happen because a lot of people talk about how Babylon's falling. Like, this is the United States is Babylon, right? Rome, whatever, that it's falling, which is fair. But then what does it look like afterwards? Is it AI? It could be. Am I afraid of that? Not really. It is what it is. You're not going to change it. Being scared of it's not going to help you change it either. You might as well just learn to work with it. And the faster you can learn to make it work for you and work with you and make your life, as purposeful as it's supposed to be, the better off you're probably going to be. That's the way it is with most things. And that is something I have just come to accept at this point. After everything that's happened. The TikTok, they bought out TikTok. I lost 3 videos yesterday. Fucking Netanyahu out here being like, bitch, stop talking. Whatever. But you just got to kind of try and make it work for you the best that you can and live a life with the purpose that you have, that God gave you, and then trying to figure out what that is. And it's just a mess and it's hard, which is why, I kind of stepped out for a while. And somebody asked if I'm going to cover midterms. Probably not unless something catches my attention. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to come out here and just come up with content just to talk. I don't think that that's useful, and I don't think it's helpful. But if something catches my attention, it's like, man, I feel like people should know about this, I will. What do we got here? Kimmy B just gifted 1 subscription to Artsy Joanne. Well, that's teamwork right there. Good job, guys. Way to work together. That's sweet. We're never going to vote. Yeah, and see, that's kind of where I'm at as well. But then I watched what happened with Randy Feenster last night. He won, but it barely. Not for Randy, the other guy. Maybe it goes by state. Maybe they didn't cheat hard. I don't know. I can tell you I'm not giving my energy to really that aspect of it anymore. But I am going to watch it from a distance because I am kind of curious to see how it's all going to fall. What gets me is the people that say, oh, well, get them in the next election. It just, because, and somebody said it in the comments too, we can't let the Dems take out, there is no Dems. My good friend, my love, okay? There's no Dems. There's no Republican. There's none of that. It's just us and them. That's it. It's us who have to budget and work hard and pay the salary of them who don't have to do any of that. It's us that believe that Jesus Christ is our Savior, okay? And that the only way to heaven is through him, and that the only way, that's us. And then there's them who believe that sucking the foreskin off babies' penises is a legit cool thing to do. Who believe that Jesus Christ was a douche and fake and whatever they believe, right? It's just good versus evil. When it comes right down to the nitty-gritty, that's what it is. That's just what it is. And you can do with that whatever you want. $10 from Artsy Joanne. I can't always catch you live, but enjoy you when I can. Thank you for your sincerity. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Let's see. We got a couple minutes left. Let's end on a peaceful note because this is two. I got 2 more videos and they talk about how to find peace in kind of all this chaos.
I'm 54, and if you're younger than I am, let me save you some years. You have to realize peace isn't just going to show up one day because you lit a candle and took a nap. Most of your peace is going to come from things you do not want to do. Not the fun stuff, not the easy stuff, the uncomfortable stuff. Like getting up earlier when you know you'd rather sleep, going to the gym when your body feels tired and heavy, walking away from people you still care about, saying no when you're used to saying yes, and being quiet when your ego wants to argue, starting over again. That's where peace is. Not in the fantasy of what your life could be, but in the discipline it takes to build the life you want. Peace is earned, hard earned. It comes from setting boundaries, self-control, discipline, from the thing that stretches you instead of the thing that comforts you. So if it feels hard right now, if it feels some days like you're losing more than you're gaining, that might mean you're actually finally doing it right. Hope that helps.
I love that. Because it does. Everything comes at a cost, including your peace. Yeah, it just does. And I guess it's not true peace unless it has come at a cost. And I think a lot of the people, especially here, especially the people that follow me, I think they can understand that. A lot of them have been through some stuff. And then if you get into politics too, it's just, you got to go through the fucking thick of it in order to get to the other side. And when you get to the other side, you're like, dang, I'm just going to light this candle and read this book and find my peace. What else I got? I got Renee Bledsoe. Appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. $5 from Renee. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got like a war going on in the comments. You guys fighting? Stop fighting. I can never keep up. From there, getting ready to take matters in their own hands. Just saying, because there's no justice. No. Yeah, we've paid at all costs. It's gross. It is. So any peace that I fucking get, I fucking earned. That's how I look at it. Like, if I want to do a cooking video and it brought me peace, made me happy, and made me feel creative, well, I fucking earned that. Just leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. There, see? Regulating over here is here now. My alarm's going off. My kid's got to take his zinc. Did you know that zinc can help with warts? This is super off topic, but my alarm just went off. My kid has a wart on his hand, and he's had it for a long time. And we've been trying to get rid of it. We went to a dermatologist because it just wasn't going away. And she took the little cryogenic burn thing to it, and he fucking hated it. And he, obviously, because it hurts. And it didn't go away. Then she had to burn it again, and then it didn't go away. And then she's like, you know what, try taking some zinc. So he's been taking zinc consistently for the last 2 weeks, and that thing is almost gone. Seriously? Seriously? If you have warts, go take some zinc. They'll dry right up. I promise. They'll fall right off. It's the weirdest fucking thing. I don't know. Just so everybody's aware. Your son has that? Get some zinc. Because these things were so freaking stubborn. I bought creams. We bought all kinds of stuff. Nothing. I don't even know how much it's like the Nature Path one I got from Hy-Vee. It's the adult one. My husband, because my kid's a big kid. He's a big, tall kid. And so he takes just the one dose of it, whatever it is, the adult one. Ask a doctor. Yes, isn't that the wildest fucking thing? I had not either. I'm like, there's no way. And she's like, well, just try it. She's like, because a lot of times if the zinc will help boost your immune system, kind of get it going a little bit better. And then that will take care of the virus that's causing the wart. And son of a monkey's uncle. He hadn't been on it 2 weeks, and it's like faded to almost nothing. Son of a gun. All right, I got one more video, and then I'm going to dip. This is finding your peace, and these are some steps to finding your peace. I'm not preaching. I just thought it'd be helpful. Actually, you know what? Let's end on a funny one. I got 3 funny videos. Let me pick one. Let's just watch all 3. They're short. Here we go.
I cried out, heaven save me, but I'm down to one last
from the edge and now I'm thinking. Those are great. These are all videos that made me laugh super hard at like 10:30 at night alone in my bed because my husband was sleeping and I'm like shaking the whole bed. Those are those videos. Here's another one.
What in the world? I could just reach in and grab them. Ah! Oh my god!
One comment was like, no, the fuck you can't. And it was like this fish. Oh my God, it was so funny. And then the last one, actually, I got two more. The second to last one is about a murder of crows. And I follow this guy on TikTok. He's a farmer. He does homesteading content. It's great. He's fucking great. And 3 or so months ago, he found a crow in his yard and it was talking to him. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to feed this crow. I'm going to give it some trinkets. And I'm going to see if I can't get myself like an army of crows to help protect his chickens. Right. And so for a whole week, he was putting like trinkets and like snackies out for this crow. And then eventually one crow turned into two. And then he had kind of a little murder of crows coming to eat. Right. And then yesterday it paid off.
Hey, everybody. We had a hawk attack today. Brian, that must have been so scary. Yeah, everything's scary until the Avengers assemble.
Get him! Yeah! It's working!
Yeah! I told you from the very beginning, 3 months ago when I started feeding these crows. And I'm doing this for one reason and one reason only. And it wasn't to just have cute little birds to talk with. Oh, new little friends on the farm. I wanted a group of mercenaries, some assassins, a murder, if you will, to do my bidding and to protect my chickens from hawks. And it worked! I told you from the very beginning that I was worried that I would let this get to my head if it worked. Honestly, my biggest fear is that this actually works because I'm absolutely going to let this get to my head. It's hard to explain the feeling. The feeling of wielding the power of the local crow community to defend your property and attack your mortal enemy, the hawk. We've had hawk problems for years. We tried every solution known to man. But to think that my solution was just up in the trees, staring at me. They haven't even touched the trinkets yet. They did that for free. They did that today for the love of the game. They did all that for a little bit of kibble. Now imagine when the bartering system begins. First we started with one crow visitor, then it became 2, and then I had 4 of them attacking a hawk today. Anyway, make sure you're following along for all of the crow updates, and at the end of the day, make sure you're following us for more homesteading tips.
Just banned our homestead on TikTok if you want to go follow him. He's hilarious and he does all these things. All right, last video. This is a guy in his car talking about bike lanes.
I cannot stand these fucking bicyclists. When I'm doing 30 and a 50 because I'm stuck behind 8 grown men dressed like fucking radioactive highlighters, I start to develop opinions. Why the fuck are you guys riding 3 deep down the road? Like they're not handing out gold medals at the end of this fucking cul-de-sac, Kyle. And why the fuck do you wear the spandex with all the sponsor names? Like, nobody is looking at you and saying, oh, this 43-year-old might be the future of athletics. Nobody looks like they're having fun. Nobody is smiling. They look like they're transporting organs that have to be to the hospital in 6 minutes or less. Meanwhile, traffic is backed up 3 fucking zip codes because Chad in his tour to midlife crisis thinks the fucking road belongs to him and Team Spandex Thunder. And then when you go to pass them, they throw their hands up like you're the fucking villain, like you just violated the Geneva Convention. Meanwhile, you just spent $10,000 to be the world's most expensive inconvenience. And why do these guys travel in packs? 1 bicyclist, sure, I can handle that, but 8 of them? That's a tactical formation. That's a fucking infantry unit. And they roll up on you sounding like a fucking flock of asthmatic geese.
We should just do a whole show on those. I come across these videos and like because my husband always falls asleep earlier than I do. And so I'm usually like up scrolling. I'm trying to go to bed early because I'm trying to fix my sleep too, but I'm like up scrolling. And I'm trying not to laugh in the bed because I don't want to wake him up. And I'm like, I'm just gonna download them all. And I'm gonna save them into a folder. And then I think next week, unless something major happens that we absolutely need to talk about, I'm just gonna do a whole show of funny ass fucking videos that I found in the middle of the night. We'll call it like late night with Shipwreck at 7 o'clock, whatever time it is where you are. Oh my God. Oh, there's one guy on TikTok that talks about his HOA too. He's running for fucking president now. It's just, some of these people are just insane. And I love it. I'm here for it. It makes me laugh. It makes me fucking laugh. All right, I'm going to go. I love your guys' faces. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your support. Keep her moving. Take it easy. Tell your mom I said hey, and watch out for deer. Bye, guys.
Tonight we're making one. Today for homemade.
If you need a break from the politics, please consider subscribing to our Substack or subscribing to our ex-subscribers. Just good food, good friends, and good times. We'll see you later. Thanks, friends.